What's up, everybody? Matt Robinson here, coming at you with another Beyond the Lines brought to you by WizardSportsPicks.com. Coming at you with the Tuesday, November 11th card. I'll be looking at some NHL plays today. As I mentioned last Tuesday, it'll change from time to time. I might have a basketball pick, college basketball, NBA. Might throw out an NFL or a college football pick that I like, but with another 9-game card this Tuesday, I think I'll stick to hockey here with a little 3-pack hat trick, whatever you'd like to call it. I'll throw out 3 plays that I like for the Tuesday card. Um, as mentioned, this is brought to you by WizardSportsPicks.com. If you haven't checked out the website, please check it out. We've got some of the best handicappers going right now with specialties in every sport you can imagine. Free picks, premium picks, you name it. The website's constantly updating. Every time you refresh the page, you'll see some new picks. So get over to wizardsportspicks.com. Don't miss out. Thank you for liking, sharing the video, retweeting it if you see it on Twitter, things like that. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I do appreciate it. So without further ado, I will jump into the Tuesday card. Kicking things off for me tomorrow, we'll look at the TNT early game, 2-game slate tomorrow. Actually, both games will be featured in this breakdown, but we'll start with that first 7 p.m. Eastern Time puck drop. Toronto is heading out to Boston to play the Bruins at TD Garden. For me, this one, it's pretty simple. I love the over 6 here. We're looking at Swayman and Stolars getting the nod for this game. Both teams, or both goalies for that matter, are giving up over 3 goals a game on average. Currently, Toronto is 5th in the league, scoring 3.69 goals per game. Boston not far behind at 3.29. Both teams are giving up more than 3 goals per game, including Toronto sitting at the league worst, 3.75 goals per game. So while they're top 5 in scoring, they're bottom 2 in goals against, and I know I mentioned league worst. They are at 31st, so there is one team out there giving up more goals than Toronto. Nevertheless, for the last 5 between these two teams, we've seen at least 7 goals. 7, 8, 9, 10 are the 4 games to be exact. We had one game that unfortunately stopped at 5, but that's not here nor there. Give me over 6 in the Toronto-Boston game. That'll be my first play of the night. Second play of the night, we're going to head out to Ottawa, where my favorite NHL team, the Dallas Stars, are taking on the Ottawa Senators. Both teams coming in, with players on injury. It's both teams are having a pretty good start to the year. Despite those injuries, Dallas is sitting at 9-4-3. Ottawa is 8-5-3 coming into the game. For me, I look at trends, I look at series history, I look at a number of factors when I come up with these picks. You've got a Dallas team that's slowly starting to heat up, especially offensively. They had a slow stretch. I think they're up to nine games in a row with at least a point, despite the injuries they've got going on. You've got an Ottawa team that's top 6 in scoring. For this one, Dallas is 3-0 in their last 3 games to the first period over. Ottawa, unfortunately, 2-3, 2 of 3, 2-1 in their last 3 to the first period over. But they're one of the hottest over teams in the league when it comes to first period overs. So with this one, I'm going to keep it simple. I do like the over in this game. I'm seeing it 5.5 and 6, depending on where you're looking. But I'm going to go with the first period over here, hoping for 2 quick goals, and then we'll collect on this game. Dallas is very not immune to giving up a first period goal, despite whether they're on the road or away, but they also are capable of popping 2 goals in on any given night in the first period, especially with how they've played the last couple games. Their power play has been lights out. So that's something I look at. Ottawa's the 32nd, so this time they are the dead last penalty kill in the league at 67.4%. So to me, this one screams goals quickly. Again, I do like the overall total, but for today's purpose, my pick, first period over 1.5, Dallas and Ottawa. That is pick number 2 on this card. And then I mentioned it earlier, third and final pick of this week's Tuesdays Beyond the Lines. I'm going to go out to Colorado Ball Arena, the red hot Anaheim, can't say it anymore. Mighty Ducks of Anaheim are headed to Colorado to take on the Colorado Avalanche in Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. Two of the hottest teams in the league. That, this goes without being said. You've got 1 and 2 in the league scoring wise. Colorado is still sitting at a pretty good goals against per game average, but things are slowing down for them in some games. And they just routed Edmonton 9-1. If that happens again, we're safe with this pick, but I don't foreshadow that. The Ducks are one of the hottest teams in the league. I see power rankings having them at number 1. I think anyone that follows the NHL the last couple seasons can agree that the Ducks might be the biggest surprise team of the season. We're only 14 to 17 games into the season, depending on the team that you follow. But this team is hot. They're 11-3-1. They're rolling on the road. They're rolling at home. They're putting up 7 goals in random games. And then, again, I mentioned you've got the Colorado Avalanche, the number 2 scoring team in the league, put up 9 in Edmonton the other night. This one just screams goals. It's on TNT. I love the national TV angle. Series history for this one, only 5 of the last 10 has gotten to 7 goals or more. But you have to remember the Ducks were a pretty, low scoring, boring, not very good team, for lack of a better term. And man, Joe Quenneville has turned things around for the Ducks of Anaheim. So this one screams over to me. There will be some juice laid to it because you do have number 1 and number 2 in the league. I think I'm seeing it minus 125 on some books, minus 130 on others for over 6.5. But love the play. I think, 2 firepower offenses. Again, the Avs are playing some decent defensive hockey, but I just think the Ducks are too hot for anyone to, really shut down. So we need, a 3-3 overtime game. Gets us to the over. Maybe we get a little 5-2 action if one team kind of takes off. Either way, love the first period in this one. Love the full game. But for purpose of today's Beyond the Line show, brought to you by WizardSportsPicks.com, we will take over 6.5. So just to recap, a lot of overaction tomorrow. I'm hoping for a lot of goals on the 9-game NHL slate. Starting out with Toronto-Boston, TNT, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, over 6. Dallas, Ottawa, 7 p.m. You can find that game on ESPN+. We're going to go with the first period over 1.5. And then to round things out, you've got Avs, Ducks, TNT, late night slate. Says that it'll be 9:30 p.m. Eastern. For those that watch a lot of hockey, it'll be 9:50 at best. Hoping that there's no overtime in that first game between Toronto and Boston. So expect a 9:50 puck drop. Sorry for East Coasters that want to watch the game. It is going to be a little late. But if you are in Mountain or Pacific time or fans of either of these teams in those cities, you should be all right because we should get like a 6:50 puck drop. But over 6.5 in that Ducks Avs game. Looking for a lot of goals tomorrow night. I think we can get there in these 3 games. Again, thank you so much for watching, supporting the site, WizardSportsPicks.com. This is just the beginning. We're very excited about what we've got going on. Very excited for the group of cappers we have on the site. A lot of people on hot streaks. Myself, I am rolling into tomorrow with a 24-9 run on NHL plays. So things have been good. I hope that momentum continues. We're seeing a lot of goals in a lot of games, which is great for cappers like myself that do like over betting as opposed to under, as I do tune into these games and I want to see some action. So as always, thank you again for your support. Thank you for sharing the video. Like the video below. Let us know in the comments if there's anything you want to see different. If there's anything you like, don't like, let us know. And thank you again for watching. I will catch you next Tuesday for another episode of Beyond the Lines. Good luck this week. There's some great sports on throughout, all week, every night. There's great games on in different sports. So busy week, busy action. Check out WizardSportsPicks.com to get great insight, free picks, premium picks, you name it. See you at the site. And yeah, I'm Matt Robinson. I will see you next Tuesday. Have a great week, everybody.